Maybe it's just not my experience so far.
There's myths, the bigger the better.
Yeah, there is.
There's myth on vagina or whatever the case after she has a kid, and you know what I'm saying, this that, and the other.
Okay.
There's myths about,
Yeah.
if this
Skinny
happens while
girls.
you're having sex, you know what I'm saying, this means this,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there is.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I've matter of fact, it was like my grandmother. She was talking like when I first got with my daughter's mother back in the day. She was talking about if you hit it in a certain point. I can't remember her exact words,
The
but she
G
was like,
spot.
if you hit it in a certain point, you're gonna have a boy or a girl,
Oh,
Oh
right?
my
whoa!
God.
And
I've
so,
never heard
and
that one.
then her mom ended up getting pregnant, and I just knew it was gonna be a boy. Like I felt it. I knew it was gonna be a boy. Then the minute my daughter jumped out of her mom's stomach, I was like, no. Don't get me wrong, I love my daughter,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But
But
I
see,
was
she
more,
fooled on that one.
yeah. I just knew it was gonna be a boy, man. I had my Spider-Man shit in my head already. I was gonna get him. His room was gonna be hooked up in
So
Transformers
you
and
thought you
everything.
hit her in that spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But that was one of them that was like pretty funny. I didn't really consider like what you were talking about were myths, like the bigger your feet, the bigger
Right, right,
bigger the
right,
rod is, and all
right.
that stuff. I didn't really think those were myths, but I guess yeah, I guess you could consider it that.
Yeah. Tia?
So a myth that I feel like is not what it is definitely no, is that women think that their vajayjay is the best and that that's going to keep the man, or that's going to keep the man from not cheating, or that's going to keep the man from not doing what a man wants to do
It's
at the end
not?
of what? No. If a man doesn't want to be kept, you can't keep him, right?
Okay.
Because you can't
Yeah,
keep something that doesn't
that's
want to be
true.
kept.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So it doesn't matter about if your vajayjay is good, or you think you have the bomb, or you're wild in the bed, or you're over here just doing every type of thing or whatever. If that man doesn't want to be kept, he's not going to be kept, and it has nothing to do with your vajayjay. So
Okay.
I feel like that's a myth that I want to
Okay.
debunk because
Okay.
it's definitely a myth.
One myth that I can bring up right now is like an old one. I was told, boy, if she trying to feed you some spaghetti, don't eat it.
And
The
I
people
Cajun
still say
girl.
I said,
that to
Yeah.
why,
me all the
why,
time.
why? My mama
Get you a girl
told
from
me.
New Orleans.
My
You
mama
right.
told me that. I said, why, mama? She said, boy, look, have I ever steered you wrong? I said, no, ma'am. I said, but why? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I want to know. She said, because, you know what I'm saying, some girls mix their period blood up in that sauce. You know what I'm saying? And you be hooked after that. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, man, that's a fucked up shit.
Yeah, that's wild as hell right there.
I'm,
She gonna
I'm
put a
getting,
root on you.
I'm
That's what
getting my,
People
that's what
still
I was heard. They
believe
gonna put a
that.
root. Yeah, a root on you.
say, look, I'm getting my red wings and don't even know it.
Exactly.
You
There's
know
men
what,
that still
man?
believe that too.
Of
They tell me
course.
it all the time when I
Of
cook my spaghetti. Like,
course.
nah, I don't want
Back
none.
back when I was in the military, I was kind of friends with this girl who was from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
She was real, Louisiana country, Louisiana. Like she came to my crib. She drove 7 hours to my crib when I had one of my first surgeries,
Damn.
and she was like, taking care of me or whatever.
Okay. I
I'm
bet
talking
she
about I'm
was.
waking up in the morning,
7 hours. She coming to get that.
I'm waking up in the morning, man. This girl had fresh biscuits made from scratch. I'm talking about preserves, like jars in the preserves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
strawberry preserves and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It was like glorious. This girl was cleaning the house. She was making meals, everything. And then I thought about it and I was like, she trying to put a root on my head. I gotta
Wow.
watch this food and everything that
Where
she
did
get.
you get that myth from?
I don't know. It's just whatever I've heard, of whatever I've heard through my life course. It's like those girls in Louisiana are dangerous. You got to watch them, man, because they know some occult practices.
Man.
You know?
They know that voodoo.
Yeah, they
That's
know
what they
some
be
occult
saying, but I
practices,
don't
man.
know.
Wow.
Taking your toothbrush
And
and
what happened? You still left her, didn't you?
actually, I let her go back home. She stayed for like a week,
Yeah.
and she was trying to stay another week. And I don't know. I said something to her, but I got her out the house.
Yeah,
I
there's
was a little hurt.
so many myths, you know what I'm saying? And one like when we started off when I was explaining to you some of the particular myths, you know what I'm saying? The bigger the better for the man or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? The only way that I can actually, because I've been on social media for a while, you know what I'm saying? I'm prevalent on there, so therefore, you know what I'm saying? rolled some samples out there, you know. So back in the days, I used to ask that question. I've asked that question several times before, and it came up even out of another conversation inside of a post or whatever. And that whole thing is so vague because it's really not, because it always come into, it's not about the size, it's what you're doing with it, whatever you got. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? But you know what I'm saying? From my experience as far as social media and reading and stuff like that, and my personal experience, um, if you're okay, you know what I'm saying? You're not on what's the Mendigo, but then again, you're not Peter over here, but you're somewhere in the
Peter.
middle there, you know what I'm saying?
Mendigo.
And you have the knowledge of the woman, you know what I'm saying? Then you're in the game, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, you're in the
Because it's
game.
not about the Peter sometimes.
It's not. So from a
No,
woman's
I don't
perspective, let's
agree.
let's hear from a
Ocean
woman's
in the ocean.
perspective.
Yeah, like you just said, it's more than that. Like if you have a woman's brain, first of all, you have their heart. So it doesn't matter about what you have in your pants. Because if you have her, like I said, mentally,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what's in your pants. So you can have a little Peter and still know how to give the
Did she say
fellatio.
Peter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter.
Peter?
Peter, yeah. That's my name for it. Vajayjay.
Okay, all
Vajayjay
right.
and Peter.
Pecker.
Shout out to Peter.
So, so if you're not, packing down there, but you still know how to comfort that woman and caress that woman and cater to that woman. And like sometimes that matters to us. To me, I know personally, it's the little things. Like who cares about what's in your pants? Like as long as you can do everything else, like I'm okay with that.
This the throne.
Definitely.
And I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
And
because
what you're
there's
saying,
men that's
and
had
what
mandeals
and
and
what
they
you
don't know how
saying.
to do anything
Yeah.
else. They just lay
Just
there and want you
forward
to
and
do
back. Forward
everything.
and
And
back.
oh, well, I got a big, so I don't have to do this. And I don't have to go down on you. And I don't have to caress you. I don't have to sit here and be affectionate with you. Like those people are the main ones with the big dicks. For real, for real.
Okay.
But so that's not good. Like, who cares about that? That's all you have to offer, but you can't do anything else because you have a big dick.
Okay, so there is this, on this particular topic that you're talking about right here is, because in the beginning of your conversation, all that I got from that is, you know what I'm saying, when you say, man, once he has her mind, once he mentally stimulated her, you know what I'm saying, no matter what you bring in as far as your sexuality, you know what I'm saying, it's cool because you're mentally stimulated. Correct?
Definitely.
If I'm wrong. But that right there is two parts right here. You know what I'm saying? One is making love, because that's making love.
Yeah.
That's making love. But there's an area over here called fucking.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
Definitely is.
it's a real area.
Mhm.
So
It
so
is.
let's not avoid that area. So when we talking about the fucking now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we tell them love is a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? You can have a third arm coming out your forehead, but if you just stimulated this woman's mind, you know what I'm saying, and show her that your feet and your mouth and your conversation match, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You can't negate that love that's finna drop. Okay, that's making love. So let's keep the conversation right now, particularly on the fucking.
Okay.
Jump off.
Because the simple fact is, you know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong, because this might be a myth too, Jay. Don't a woman want to be like, you know what I'm saying? To get it to where you feeling it or whatever the case may be. I mean, talk to me about it. I want to know because I'm curious about it because you talking about love and he can have a pencil, but if he stimulated my mind, we good. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but let's talk about the act.
Okay.
In itself.
I'm not one of those giant guys myself, right? But I've had those situations where
You're not one of those what?
Giant guys.
She gonna
like a
Okay.
porn
say
star.
the shit again.
You know what I'm saying?
I
She
didn't
just want to
hear
hear
him.
me say pecker.
No, I
She want to hear
promise
me
you.
say pecker.
She want to hear him say
No, I thought he said Jai. I was like,
No,
what?
giant guy.
I didn't know what he said.
But I've had situations where it's been a jump off, right? Like the girl I was with, I'm at a friend's party, right? And I go to the restroom. She comes in the restroom, follow it, jump off, right?
Right.
Everything good. It depends on that type of situation and the spontaneous, actions that go on. Especially if I'm one of those guys who may be lacking in the area of length, but I'm able to take care of her orally, and she still gets the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So
you know how to
you ain't
handle
finna-
her.
But he ain't finna do no oral or no jump off, is you?
No.
Okay, so wait.
I'm talking about like maybe my
Okay.
girl or
He
something.
might,
okay.
he might know.
I'm talking about my girl.
I had to,
Me and my girl
I
can
had to
have a jump
clarify
off.
that.
Me and my girl can have a jump off. Like I could be looking at her a certain
Oh,
way,
you're
and we
role
be in
playing.
Target.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
yeah.
gonna get that shit down
That's
in
different.
Target.
That's different.
He's talking about like someone you're just meeting.
Someone
You
I'm
know,
just
like
meaning. It's just like it's about beating the brakes off her ass and move around.
Okay.
Like I know what it is on that one.
Okay. And you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, I do agree with that too. Because at the end of the day, like I keep saying, it's not about the size, whether it's a jump off or not. It's about what you're doing. Okay, if your size is little, then what are you doing to compensate
Yeah.
for that? Which I've had people, they know how to handle me, or they have gone down on me, or they're just talking to me in a certain way that I like,
Mm.
or they're just being them. Sometimes you can just be you, and it doesn't matter about the size because you're just you have everything together, you're handling me right, and you know how to treat me right. Like sometimes it's that too. So I just feel like there's times that I've had people with big dicks and they don't even know how to handle me, they don't know how to talk to me, they don't so rather to jump off or not. So I just think it just depends on everything. It's just not about size
Right.
to
Right.
me,
It definitely
you
is.
know,
It's definitely the energy
whether it's
that
to
you
jump
bring.
off or not. Like size, sometimes they don't even know what they're doing with it.
But
Mm.
all in all, you know what I'm saying. I think that it is an individual status. You know what I'm saying. For what a person needs in that particular category as far as sex. You know what I'm saying. In that the last conversation that we were having, it's up to the woman. You know what I'm saying. What does she desire? You know what I'm saying.
Definitely.
And men, just if I can offer anything before we go take this break right now and a sponsorship break, is this that just pay attention to the woman, you know what I'm saying? Ask questions, you know what I'm saying? Make love with the lights on, man, you know what I'm saying? And pay attention to her facial expressions or just have the conversation about sex and find out what she likes or whatever the case may be. Because, you know what I'm saying? If you're just laying down for you, I get it.